How have you been though? How have you been dealing with all what's going on around the world at the moment?
Well, it's been strange 2 years, of course, with like all this happening all over and not touring. That's the most strange things to us because we normally tour all the time. So I'm lucky. We were lucky to have this album project on, so we had something to focus. And now, when album is almost out, I hope that things would go back to normal little by little, and we could get on tours and live shows.
Yeah, I mean, it's for some people, I guess it can be a bit difficult to sort of plan ahead. But do you have any sort of dates and stuff planned for this year at all?
Yeah, we do. Nothing is cancelled from this year, at least yet, because we should have a North American tour on April and May, and that's still on. So trying not to be too skeptic, but this might happen. So I hope so. And then it's the summer festival, so. Let's hope. Last year we had to cancel like 100 gigs, and before that 100 gigs. So now when the new album comes out, I hope this would be like a little bit more normal again, but we'll see.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And obviously with a new album, it's always an exciting time. You must be itching to play these songs live in front of a crowd as well.
Oh yeah, that's like when it feels like the album is really out, when you get to play these songs live to an audience. Before that, it just feels like because we have heard this album already. It's been ready all of the year, so to us it's not new, but it's just waiting for the start tour with that album. So
yeah. What's the general feeling about these songs? I mean, I had a chance to listen to it a little bit earlier today, and it's fantastic. It's obviously signature Amorphis, but what is your feeling, and how do you sort of compare it to previous albums?
Well, it's hard to say at this point. Like every time when you are about to release new album, you're like it feels fresh, and of course it feels like your best album. And so we are very, very satisfied and I think it's different than it's like continuing for last two albums, I guess, but still it's like its own, like it's not it's maybe a little bit more complex than Queen of Time, I guess. I don't know, I haven't heard it that much opinions yet, but I think it takes few more spins than Queen of Time, for example.
Yeah, I mean, listening to it, I mean, I definitely get a lot of the Queen of Time sort of style and sounds, but you're right, it does feel more progressive, I guess. Was it something that you guys were trying to achieve on this album?
Well, not like trying, but I think it came naturally because obviously we had more time to focus on composing, so I think, and of course the studio time we had like normally we do it like in 2 months, like every day, and then it's finished. But this time we had like almost half a year time to like make it like little by little, and because mainly we were recording it in Helsinki instead of Sweden now. That of course led us more like time as well, because the studio is very near where like I live, for example. So we didn't have to plan that tight schedules than normally when recording an album. So that might be one reason, and of course we had all the focus went to this like album making, not like doing tours between the recordings or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's one of the positives about having sort of a lack of shows and stuff, is that I guess bands were able to focus a bit more on the creative side of writing music and stuff. That must have been a bit of an advantage to some extent, I guess, for you guys.
Well, without making this album, I think we would be very desperate, like having, because we haven't had this long period of not touring like in 20 years or something. So this was like definitely good to have like something to focus. And now we just can hope to things would be back to normal soon, hopefully again.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Hopefully.
like every band and everybody else in this planet, I guess.
I think so, yeah. And now I've read that you actually had many more songs on the album that didn't actually make it to the final cut. Something about like 25, 30 songs or something. Was that right?
Yeah, we had something like over 30 songs, but that's normal to us because we have so many songwriters in a band, so that's never been a problem. But like this time as well, we just put all the songs to Jens Bugren, and he was deciding what songs we're gonna record. So that's easiest way to us instead of like start to arguing, like having a six opinions in a band, and I want this. That's very stressful. So this works quite nice. Of course, there's always some songs you could personally imagine to be in an album, but that's how it is, and it's like end of conversation when Jens is choosing the songs, and that's it. Then we focus to those songs.
So what happens to all the other songs that don't make the cut then?
Nothing. I think we never like, or normally we don't like try those songs like in the future anymore. I don't know what composer of each song is gonna do it, but it's just like going to trash can, and then next album when you start to do it, you start from the clean table again.
Yeah. I mean, there must be, I guess, sometimes you must think, there might be some hidden gems among some of those songs that don't make it. I mean, that must be a very careful and sort of, I guess, a sort of a careful decision to make sure that you're picking the right songs for the album.
Yeah, that's sometimes I've been thinking that like albums could be like totally different with different songs. So of course, but it's just, I think Jens he's not only picking like the best songs. I guess I think he's picking like the songs which would work best together as an album as well. So that's what he's been saying. So just have to like we don't like think it afterwards. It's just like okay, this is the way we are gonna do it, and here we go. But it would be interesting someday to gather all those demo tapes somewhere from the hard drives and put it out in some like 10 albums box. It would be interesting. I don't know how good that would be, but there's a lot of songs, of course, which never make it to go.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I guess you can save that for the 40th anniversary, I guess. I mean, I know you guys have been celebrating over 30 years now for Amorphis, which is a fantastic length of time. That must be a very gratifying feeling, knowing that you can still produce great albums like this one.
Yeah, that's important to us, because I know some bands are putting out new albums just to get on new tours and still playing like old stuff mainly. But to us, it's always been very like important that we are still trying to do the best album every time, and not just that we have to put something out. So that's important thing to us. So yeah.
From, I guess, a creative sort of point of view, do you find it, as time goes on, to be easier or more difficult to come up with some fresh and new ideas?
Well, it depends. Like, personally, I've been always like very slow when it comes to like making new songs. In the same time when Esa or Santeri are making like 15 songs, I managed to do maybe 2 or 3. So hard to tell, but I think it's in some way it's easier, because some way you have like certain formula, but at the same time you can use everything what you have here, or every music you like. You can still have those elements or influences to music, because we try to avoid that we should like limit our music style to certain kind of music or riffs. So to us, it's important to have that freedom.
Yeah.
So I think it's still becomes like more pleasing every year. I think the making new stuff.
Yeah, definitely, and obviously, the fans have been sort of joining you for the ride as well. It's fantastic, 30+ years, and hopefully many more. You sort of looking back on that and over those periods of time. Any particular highlights at all? What's been the sort of most standout highlight in your career so far, do you think?
Well, that we are still doing this. That's the highlight, I think, because none of us believed, like when we started at the age of 16 or something, that this would be like our lifetime job, or what we will do like after 30 years. That if somebody would have said that to me like back then, I wouldn't like believe him. Of course, we were just like underground death metal band at the time, and so that we managed to keep doing this, it's great, and still like having changed a bit, because it's natural. Like when you're 16, of course your music taste is not that wide as it becomes, of course, later on. Not meaning that you don't. We still love the same music like back then, but of course at the same time we listen to a lot of different kind of stuff. So it's good that we have been making this like fresh to ourselves, and of course have to be thankful that we have fans, and still, and this is like feels like it's going little by little up all the time, except this COVID times, of course. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a fantastic album, and I've been a fan of Amorphis for quite a number of years. So it's great to see you guys still doing it and putting out some great albums. So congratulations on that. And if we get things back to normal, we'd love to have you back in Australia, because I think it's been quite a while since the last time we've seen you down here.
Yeah, I guess it's almost 9 years now, and we've been like pushing our agent all the time, like that we should get back to Australia as soon as possible, because we only been there once, and it was great time, and it was first time to us like visited even in Australia. So that's what we would love to do, and I'm sure it will happen when the world is back to normal again. It's a long way, but yeah. We would love that.
Definitely. Well, love to have you back, and fingers crossed it all goes well, and hopefully you get to get back onto the road and support this new album that you got. So thanks for your time. Really appreciated.
Hey, thanks, Andrew. Thank you.